Now here's an unplanned little video, and it has to do with roof racks that can go on your camper shell here. Now I got this camper shell used, and it had these tracks installed from Thule, although you can get a lot of places to install these here. And I had two Thule crossbars going across, but they were stolen. So I've been looking around to see how I can replace them, and found some good information here that I had to learn the hard way. And I'll share with you some things that I've learned here. First of all, this is the sort of tower that I had. It's called a Tracker 430, and it can come off the base or the little foot here that attaches, and so you can take them on and off. Now, that's not really how mine got stolen. I had them off, and they were in the back of my truck in my camper shell. I think someone just opened it up and took them. But anyway, this is the kind that I had here. The problem with these is that they're discontinued. Now you can still find them online, not from Thule, but if you get them, say, from eTrailer.com has them, you can get a set of 4 for about $200. You can find them, if you're lucky, on eBay. Look around, you may get them for around $100 or so. Anyway, somewhere in between $100 and $200 you can find them on eBay. But this is the kind of thing that you want right here, and that's where the bars go through, at least the old style bars. You can still get those. Even the newer Thule bars will work there. But the important thing here is the base. Now what I had is called TK1, and this is what they look like. So if you need to get these to fit in some kind of track like this, the TK1 or they're discontinued or hard to find as well, and so they're a little pricey. But here's what I want to tell you. You don't actually need to get the TK1 from Thule. All you really need is a flat, low base like this, and these little nuts here. They're sort of like, trapezoidal nuts, so to speak, to go on the track. The TK1 also has this little plastic piece right here that I guess would fit right in between there, but that's just not necessary. So there are several Thule bases you can get. In addition to TK1, you can get TK6 and TK8 and TK9, and they will all have, there's one right here, this flat bottom, and they'll have these little nuts that go in there. And they'll usually have extra tracks and pieces and stuff you don't need, but this is all you want here. They don't have this little piece in the middle, so plastic piece that kind of can come out, but again, you don't really need that. This is all you need right here. Again, any Thule base that is flat on the bottom and that has the nuts like this will work in these tracks that go on your camper shell. And so if you look for one TK1, TK6, TK8, or TK9, especially on eBay, you can find a set of 4 for not too much money. So you don't have to get the TK1. That's the first thing to know here. Now there are other Thule foot packs that have this same base. You see this plastic base right here that's flat all the way down, kind of low, and with a bar across here. There are quite a few that have this same base, but they don't necessarily have this particular type of nut at the bottom. They'll have one that's kind of more rectangular. If that'll work here in these tracks, I don't know, but quite a few have the base. But the ones I've told you about, the 1, 6, 8, and 9 will have these nuts. And so that's what you're looking for, and they'll work just as well as the TK1 without any problem. They may be cheaper and easier to find. Now the next issue is going to be the bars. What length do you want? So if you look, especially on eBay, you can find all sorts of Thule bars. Some used, some look like they're kind of new in various sizes. The most common size I've seen is 50 inch. I think that's what I might have had before, but of course I can't measure now and find out because some scumbag took them. But in looking for bar replacements, I found these right here. These aren't Thule. These are a brand called Inno, I-N-N-O. I found them on eBay and on Amazon.com. And whether you get them used or new, they're going to be quite a bit cheaper than the corresponding bar from Thule. And they're really made to be the same thing. They fit right in the Thule towers here, the exact same profile. They're called square bars, but they really are more rectangular than square. And they have this nice outer coating with a bit of a ribbed part on top for some traction. So these are a good alternative if you don't want to spend the full money for Thule bars. And the size I have here is 46 inch. Now some people like the longer ones. I was actually trying to go shorter to keep it nice and compact and not hang out over the edge of my truck, and try and keep something perhaps similar to this rack I have here. And there's really no need for me to have a big long one hanging out, but I just want something kind of nice and concise. So these are the 46 inch bars. And one thing I've noticed with the track here, say from the front to the back, it's not the same width. So you're going to have to adjust these. And it seems like in the front it's a little wider and tapered a little bit towards the back of the cap there. So that means you can't set these to be the same distance apart. This one's a little bit wider. So you are going to want to put these together and adjust them. That's a little bit tricky. But here's what you need to do. You have the end cap off, and you're going to push this sort of locking button in and slide this little piece down. And right in there, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see that, but right in there is an Allen bolt. And you tighten that up when these are where you want them. And so as you tighten that up in there, then it'll bring up a little plate that rises, and that'll hold it in place. So the best thing to do is to mount the towers on, put your bar in, kind of slide it through, measure on the top to where you get it even on both ends, and then tighten it up right in there where we can't really see anything. There it is, all nice and out of focus. Now what you're going to want are end caps, because especially if you get these used, they might come like this. You can see how it's open metal in there, and that will easily get a lot of water and start to rust and corrode. So you want to cover that up, also protect this kind of sharp edge as well. So NL comes with end caps, and here they are. The bar actually ends right about there, and then it sort of slopes down, and so it sort of sticks out and has sort of this loose empty bit right there. Can you see where that angle starts? Bar ends about there. So this sort of hangs out here just sort of like that without really much in there. Now because these are so similar to the Thule bars, I'm wondering if Thule end caps would fit in there as well. Something interesting is that you buy, for example, the NO bars come in a set of 2, which would have 4 ends, but they only come with 2 caps, which is really strange. But I did find on Amazon, I found these load bar end caps, an 8-pack. And these are designed for Thule or similar bars, and they're a silicone rubber, fairly thin, or kind of pliable and flexible. And it takes a good bit of work to get them on, but they actually do get on there. They go on pretty well, and they really do stay on nice and snug. Now as far as end caps, these are your choices. Here is a Thule end cap, and you can find these various places on eBay or Amazon. And you can see how it's designed to go fit inside the bar right there, and then kind of outside the edge. And this is a plastic, and it's pretty stiff plastic. So there you go. That's what that will be like. So you can see how it goes inside and outside the bars on the edge. Now with the NO bars, this is what they come with. And it is a rubber, kind of softer and pliable. And you can see how it goes on the edge there. You can see a place for the end of the bars right in there. And then it hangs out, this little tapered part hangs out there, and it's kind of open and empty, so it's longer than it needs to be. Remember, if you buy a set of 2 bars, you'll get 2 end caps. You'll need to buy 2 more, which doesn't make a lot of sense. And the most economical is these, which I found on Amazon. This is a silicone rubber. They're kind of thin, very pliable. They're very tight. You have to kind of pull and stretch to get them on. But once they're on, they do just fine. You can see they go right to the end of the bars, right where the edge is, and they don't hang out any. And that's what I like about them. And these come in a pack of 8, so that's going to get you what you want. And this pack of 8 will be about the same or even less than a pack of 4 of any other kind. So this is what I'm using. I think that'll do just fine, and cover the bars and be what I need. And so you end up with this. And of course the end of the little cap here is right at the end of the bar, so it is nice and short. As I mentioned, I have 46-inch bars. If you want any shorter, I guess you could do 44, and that would cut 1 inch off here, and then you're just going to be barely hanging out here. So 44, some bars come in 45-inch. You might be able to find Thule bars that are 45, but I would say 44 is the shortest you're going to want to go, especially with this widest part here at the front of the camper shell. 46 I think is a good way. You do need a little bit hanging out here so they can grip on here nice and firmly. But measuring the amount of space I have here, and I've got 2 inches from here to the actual end of the bar on this widest part, and of course 2 inches on the other side. And so that being said, you could go from a 46 down to a 44 bar and still fit in, but you couldn't really get any shorter than that. Now, since I'm putting the new bars on here, what I thought I would do is put a total of 4. And here I have them all installed. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Since I'm replacing the stolen hardware anyway, I thought I would just give this a try. And since I'm spending money, just kind of go for it and try this idea here with 4 of them. And so I've got more of a longer, sort of stable platform here. And just to sort of show you, these are the Thule bars right here, 46-inch Thule bars. And then over here, these are the 46-inch Inno bars. They really are pretty much indistinguishable one from another. So I don't know if maybe this little pattern of texture on the top is a bit different, but really you can't tell at all. And of course here we are in the Thule towers. But that's a good way to go, again, whether you're getting new or used. These Inno bars right here, again INNO, are a good way to go for saving a good bit of money on them. So now, speaking of saving money, I don't want to lose bars again, even though those weren't stolen off the top of my truck. But you know, Thule has these locking cores that you can put in. And so you've probably all seen this before, or you can find it easily on other sites, but this is how that works. So you've got the locking cores, and they actually are smaller than you might expect, and they all come with what's called an installation key or a master key. It's kind of blank. So that's what it looks like. And here's what you do. You insert the master key all the way, and it makes these pins all pop out on one side. So there they are. And if you look in the slot here, there'll be a bit of a cutout right there. There we go. Right there on the right side. So you slide it in so that all those pins match up in there. You push it in all the way, like that, and then you take the key out. Now the lock is installed. Of course, it's unlocked. You can still kind of push it in. And then you take the actual key for it and you put that in, and you can lock it. And what I like about this is it basically serves as an extension of my roof rack here. And I've tried this before with putting a long item across to transport it. If you can see, the height is pretty much right there the same. So it's a nice level area all the way across. Now you can get a roof rack or a roof basket that goes on camper shells. I think I've just seen that from Prinsu, and those are really expensive. Even with the cost of several sets of Thule hardware, it's much less expensive this way. But this was kind of my idea, just to serve as an extension of the roof rack I already have, in case I need to carry long items across there, or just have this nice long stable surface from front to back. And I think this will do the job quite nicely. And since everything for me is trying to do stuff on a budget, here's what I came up with. So you see I've got the 4 bars, that means 8 towers. But what I decided was, instead of getting 8 locks for them, I got 4 locks, and they're all on this side, my driver's side. So I got lock, 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 lock. What that means then is that this half over here on the towers is locked, and the other ones there are not. So my thinking is that if this half here is locked, even if someone pushes the button and unlocks the other end, they're not going to be able to pull this off because this one's not coming off here. So that's a way to have these secure and locked for half the amount of money. 8 locking cores as opposed to, 4 locking cores as opposed to 8. So that's my thinking with that. If I'm wrong there, if I've missed something, let me know. But this seems to me to be a good idea to keep them secure and not have to buy a locking core and have to unlock each one every time. But there you go. So we've got the 4 Thule bars going across. I had actually thought about another bar or set of bars, and then it'd be like really almost like a ladder going there. But hopefully this will be a nice platform for transporting things and distributing a lot of weight on the top. So trying to do this on a budget, and this is the end result. Hope you like it, and let me know if I need to know anything else about this. So until next time.